So we have this triangle right here, and we want to find angle C, side A, and angle B. We're given a side angle side. So we're given side angle side. So with side angle side, with this situation, law of sines does not work. Because with law of sines, don't you need an angle with its side across from it? And the only angle I do not have the side. And there's no way to get this angle or this angle from what I have right now. So we're stuck with using law of cosines. Now to choose which of these law of cosine functions or formulas to use, you look at your letters. I have angle A, which would be, which one has angle A? The top one. And does it also have B and C? B and C? Oh, does this have everything that I'm given? Yeah. So what I do is I simply plug it in the formula. I start with A squared is equal to B squared, which was 10 squared, C squared, which would be 36 squared, minus 2 times B, which is 10, times C, which is 36, times cosine of the angle A, which is 83, oops, let's rewrite that, 83 degrees. And then all it is can you type things in a calculator and get a decimal? And you would get 1,308.2541. That's what you get when you put all of that in your calculator. Don't try to do that in your head. All right, now to undo the square, you are going to square root both sides. So you get A is about, technically it would have a plus or minus, 36.1698 would be your A value. The reason I did 4 decimal places is it says here 4 decimal places for intermediate, because this side A you're going to use to find angle C and angle B. So now that we found this side, we could use law of cosines to find angle B or angle C, but it'd be easier to use law of sines. I feel law of sines is faster than law of cosines. So I'm going to switch over to law of sines. And in order to do that, don't you have to start with an angle and its opposite, which we now have. So I'm going to start with sine of 83 degrees over 36.1698 is equal to, well, if I want to find sine B or C, it depends on which angle I want. I'm just going to do sine B to start with, which if I'm doing sine B, its opposite side is 10. So if I solve this for B, I will now have angle B. Again, you could have used law of cosines. I chose not to. When you cross multiply to solve, you get 10 times sine 83 degrees is equal to 36.1698 sine B. Now we divide both sides by 36.1698. Kind of a long number, sorry. And then you get this right here. You got to kind of think it through. You got this right here left. So I need to, oops, didn't want that. I have this sine B I have to solve for. All right. Now, how do I get B? All right. Well, isn't B, the angle B, going to be the inverse sine of, to solve for B, isn't it going to be the inverse sine of all of this? So what we have here is 10 sine of 83 degrees over 36.1698. If we take the inverse sine of all of this, we will have angle B. So you would have, for this problem, angle B is 15.9 degrees. Now, technically, you might want to go to 4 decimals, but for this one, there's side A, but for this one, you probably don't have to go to 4 decimals because now, instead of using law of sines, I'm simply going to take this angle, subtract it from 180. So there's two answers. And when you put this into Alex, I would put 36.2. But for side C, or sorry, angle C, you're going to take 180 minus your angle of 83 minus your angle of 15.9. And that right there will give you your last angle, which is 81.1 degrees. We now have every single angle on every single side. Last thing, just to double check. Does our largest angle of 83 have the largest side across from it? Yeah. Does our smallest angle of 15.9 have our smallest side across from it? That means we're on the right track. Doesn't mean it's right, just means we're on the right track. So law of sines started us right here. Sorry, law of cosines. We started with law of cosines. Then we did a law of sines. And then we simply added up all the angles to see what they would be because they add up to 180.